Okay, moving on with our angle pair relationships. We've already learned vertical angles, adjacent angles, complementary angles, and supplementary angles. Now we're adding on these four. So let's talk about that picture that's on every single two our four vocab terms here. Let's talk about alternate interior. So alternate, that word has to do with our transversal line here. Alternate means opposite sides. Interior has to do with our parallel lines. So I'm going to draw a box from these parallel lines. They create a box. So interior, that means one of the angles is on the inside. So I'm going to put X there. Since it says alternate, I know that it has to be on the other side of the transversal, and since it's interior, it's going to be on the inside. So those two angles, X and Y, those are our alternate interior angles. And what else we know about those alternate interior angles is they're both obtuse angles. So that means that their angle measures are congruent to each other, which means that they are the same measure, or they're equal. Remember, in geometry, instead of the word equal, they use the word congruent. Okay, so this word alternate has to do with which side of the transversal it's on. So alternate is opposite sides, and interior has to do with that parallel line box that we created there. So moving on to our second vocab term is alternate exterior. So I'm going to make my box around my parallel lines. If it's exterior, I know that my X is going to be on the outside of the box. And then alternate, that means opposite, so it's on the opposite side, but still also exterior. So X and Y here are alternate exterior angles. And again, what we know about those measures is X is acute and so is Y, so we know that their angle measures are congruent to each other, which again means the same measure, or they're equal. So again, alternate is opposite sides of the transversal, and then exterior is on the outside of the box. Okay, we got two more to talk about. Same side interior, or SSI. You can abbreviate this one to SSI. So again, let's draw our box. So it says same side, so we know by same side, they're talking about the transversal. Same side of the transversal, and they're both interior. So that means they're on the inside of the box, and they're on the same side. Now, we have an obtuse angle for X, and we have an acute angle for Y. So they can't be congruent, but we know they do add up to 180 degrees. So same side interior angles add up to 180 degrees. And then this last one we need to talk about is corresponding. Now, this vocab term is different than all the others because all the others told us something about either the parallel lines or the transversal. This one doesn't. And this is supposed to have a D in there, corresponding. Okay, this one doesn't tell us anything about the parallel lines or the transversal, but think about what the word corresponding means. Okay, corresponding means that they are the same or similar. Okay, so if they're the same, we know that their angles are going to be congruent to each other. And again, we said congruent means that they have the same measure or they are equal to. Okay, so I'm going to put X here. Now, since it's corresponding, we know they're the same measure. Okay, so if I put it here, that's our alternate interior, so that wouldn't work. If I put it here, that's our alternate exterior. So, oh, sorry, that is nothing. Okay, and this is obtuse and this is acute. So we know that those two measures are the same, so it can't be there. Okay, what if I put it here? They're both obtuse angles, so that's good, they're both congruent. Okay, another thing to notice about corresponding is that we have one angle on the inside of the box and we have one angle on the outside of the box. So with corresponding, one angle is inside and one is outside of the box, and they're on the same side of our transversal. Okay. So those are your four new vocab terms. looking at them compared to each other, right, looking at those four relationships together, which one sticks out, or which one's different than all of the others? So you could be thinking of same side interior, or you could be thinking about corresponding. Now let's look at the difference. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, and corresponding, they are all congruent to each other. However, same side interior adds up to 180 degrees. So each angle measure is congruent except for same side interior. Another difference you could have said was that corresponding has one angle on the inside and one angle on the outside of the box, but every other one is consecutive. Alternate interior, they're both on the inside. Alternate exterior, they're both on the outside. And then same side interior, they're both on the inside. So you could have said that difference as well. Okay. Now that we have 8 total vocab terms with angle pair relationships, keep retaining and remembering those 8 vocab terms and making connections throughout the chapter. This picture is made up of 2 parallel lines. So these here are parallel lines, and these little arrow symbols that I'm putting on here, those are the symbols for parallel. So those there are 2 parallel lines. Remember, parallel lines mean that they never, ever will cross. They're straight lines that never cross or intersect. And then we have this other line that cuts through both parallel lines. And that parallel line is called our transversal line. So our transversal is what cuts through those 2 parallel lines. So again, 2 parallel lines and a transversal. So let's go back